What's going on, guys? And welcome to the Benches Cleared podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all of sports. I'm Jesse Gutierrez. I represent the side of the San Francisco Giants.
And I'm Tyler Cohen. I represent the side of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
41 days without baseball. It's 26 days since opening day. I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling as far as my hope level. I feel like it's like up and down every single day. It was really high, and then I talked to Tyler last episode, then it gets really low. And then it gets up a little bit higher when you hear that there's a new proposal coming out. MLB Trade Rumors talks about how they're adding Texas into the mix for the newest proposal. I'm not sure what that does to the divisions, if this is possible, but I guess more places makes it more realistic to happen.
I disagree. I feel like it's the exact opposite.
Fuck you, Tyler. Why do you have to do this?
Well, think about it. If you're
thinking about it.
Okay, well, think about this. If you're talking about everyone having to be quarantined,
okay,
well, doesn't it make sense to quarantine people in less locations? I mean,
not if they're separate people. I mean, why would you if you had 20 people, you wouldn't quarantine them together. You would quarantine 10 one place.
But here's the thing. Place. If they're adding Texas into the mix, okay, there has to be travel going on. Because in Florida and California,
I figured. I mean,
in Florida and Arizona, you have the spring training facilities. You only have 2 stadiums in Texas. So what are you going to do? Put 8 teams there and play 2 teams at Globe Life and freaking Minute Maid twice a day? I mean, it just doesn't.
I don't know. Maybe we could. Maybe you're right, but they're trying shit, and that makes me more hopeful. So. That's all you can hope. That's all you can hope for.
Yeah, I guess.
More suggestions means it's more realistic, in my opinion. But I mean, why would anyone want to go to Texas anyways? I mean, their Mexican food is terrible. I'm pretty safe to say that here, I think.
Yeah, all it is just ground beef smothered in cheese.
Yeah, I went.
Queso.
I went to when I was in Texas one time. I got a burrito. And I was thinking, I'm getting myself a nice carne asada burrito. It's going to be a great time. And it was like 3 flautas, like, oh yeah, they're little burritos. Like, bitch, that's not a fucking burrito. What's going on here?
Yeah, well, everything in Texas sucks. So,
yeah. I mean, well, not the people. I have friends in Texas. I always enjoyed going to Texas to hang out with people.
One of my best friends lives in Texas, and I still think it's shit.
And fuck him too.
Yeah.
Well, Manfred still expects baseball in 2020, so all of a sudden I'm a Manfred fan.
Well, let me
our fearless leader
pop that balloon for you real quick. So we were discussing earlier how he's saying he still thinks spectators are a possibility.
Oh, that's right.
There is no fucking way any fan will be attending a baseball game, a major league baseball game in 2020. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I was hoping, I think by October that maybe the World Series or some postseason games. But then again, even if that did happen, let's just say in some crazy world that did happen, those postseason tickets are going to be so ungodly. People like you and me aren't going to go anyways.
Yeah, no.
I'm not gonna pull out a second mortgage on my house to go to a postseason game.
Yeah, and I also, I miss baseball. I would love to go see a baseball game, and I'm willing to watch a watered down version of it on television.
Yeah,
I'm willing to watch them play at Camelback Ranch with no fans and it be a real game. That's fine, but I'm not willing to pay money and then have to social distance and be 6 feet away from someone in a seat and possibly get my temperature taken before I enter the stadium. Like, I'm not going to do that shit.
Why did you do this? Is this temperature up the ass? Is that what this is? That's for just audio only. It's his finger going up into the air, simulating a finger up the ass. That's what that looks like to me.
I don't know what kind of thermometers you're going to use. I don't know.
So you think that they're like, hey, we got to be a little bit more cautious about how we use, how we're exchanging fluids. Let's not do the mouth. Got to do the ass.
There's a chance you're going to sneeze when we put it in your mouth, but we'll take the chance of you taking a shit when we put it in your ass. That's all I'm saying. not going to do it.
That's crazy. One thing I also did want to I did want to mention and kind of touch base on, because last podcast I was saying how there's no way we're going to see Joey Bart, and I was bummed. And I was listening to KMBR the other day, Bay Area Sports, and they were talking about, I didn't even think the minor league season's going to be canceled if Major League is barely going to be afloat. If it gets on this year, it's going to be kind of like they're going to do everything they can to do it. So it's going to be like hanging on a thread, I think is the word I'm looking for. There's no way, there's not enough money in minor league baseball for them to have a season. So in that case, are you just going to have Joey Bart sit at home for 6 months? Or are you just going to be like, they don't really have a backup catcher right now. Like, fuck it. Might as well give him all the backup days.
But that's what, people have thrown around maybe extending the roster from 26 to 28, like a September roster kind of deal. Who knows? But I don't know. That's a great question. Like, what do you do? Do you keep him at home? Because they definitely don't want to give him service time. So it's way better to go sign Russell Martin for $2 million for one season. Have him be
but they're big on development. It's a difference being like, hey, let's try to keep their service time, as little as possible and let them develop every single day in AAA. You don't want to set them back a whole year either.
Yeah, that's true. Especially with someone like as highly touted as Joey Bart. That makes sense.
Yeah. And they have a bunch of outfielders, so maybe not Heliot Ramos, maybe not someone like that. But I think Joey Bart, where they have an opening for the backup catcher spot, and it's like, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
And it's not like the Giants are like Tampa Bay, like they have the money. Okay, just give him his money earlier. Like, it is what it is.
6 years from now anyway, so.
Yeah. They might try to extend him. The new hot thing is extending, but.
Yeah. But I mean, that's still years and years away. And if you extend him in 4 years, you're going to get some kind of break, as if, you waited until.
Like the Bumgarner contract, but it could be the same thing with like the White Sox are doing right now. They're signing all their top, minor league prospects to 6-7 year deals to like 20 million total.
Dude, they're going to be scary in a few years.
They are, and that's the thing. I feel like there were at least 4. They did 4 of those contracts. I guarantee you one of them is going to be a complete flop. He's not going to do anything in the major leagues, and it's going to be a waste of money. But those other 3 or those other 2. Dude, they're going to be such steals that it's not a big deal if they miss the other one or 2.
Yeah, just like the Dodgers were going to do with all the Cuban players they signed. And not one of them did anything except Yasuo Puig for 2 or 3 years. But everyone knew that was going to be something. But they just went on that Cuban signing spree. And then when Andrew Friedman took over, he got rid of all those nerds. So that was a big waste of money.
You're being real disrespectful right now.
Well, and we got Josh Fields out of it, so that was totally worth it. So
yeah, totally. Yeah. Jordan for Josh Fields. That was such a good trade.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
Well, while we're talking about minor leagues, let's hop into the MLB is meeting with MLB to potentially accept their offer of limiting the teams down to 120 from 100 to 60. We're going to be losing. It's not reported that they're going to accept the entire thing, but they're expected to reach an agreement tomorrow. So hopefully they at least keep our Jethawks, because that's the only way I'm able to see. That's. I mean, there's been really cool times there. It's a newer stadium. I remember it opened up when I was like 10, I think.
It's
like 20
nice
years
stadium.
for a stadium. Yeah, it's nice. It's home runs there are not. They're like cheap. The wind's blowing out, and it's just home run city there. But you get to see top prospects there. San Jose goes there a couple times a year. The Quakes go there a couple times a year, and there's just really good. Like I took my godson I was going to take him to the Jethawks games with the San Jose Giants, and it was just going to be a regular game, and it ended up being Matt Cain doing a rehab game there. So we went and we were able to freaking sit and got, a ball signed by him, and, got to see him up close and personal. It was really cool. And,
man.
you're going to miss that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice stadium, and just minor league baseball games in general, they're super cheap. They're
Yeah.
super fun because no matter where you're sitting, you paid $10 and you're super close to the field. And it's just fun.
Jethawks is $13 seats and $12 seats. That's all there is. $13 seats is right behind home plate.
Oh my
It's
god.
ridiculous.
I haven't been there in quite a while, but they have like,
But
the grass areas where you can play catch while the game's going on.
exactly.
Like it's so family friendly on a budget too. Because if you have a family of 4 kids, you can't just shuffle everyone to Dodger Stadium every day.
Yeah.
Unless
Especially in my
you're
hometown of
rich.
Lancaster. There's nothing to do out here, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really cool, and they also have cool things like Will Clark came out here for a signing. I brought my 1989 hat, had him like the retro line that New Era came out with. I was able to get that signed. Like that's gonna all go away, and I thought the whole idea of trying to grow baseball, was just to reach out to. It just doesn't make sense. It seems like it's going to be a short-term gain for a long-term loss. You're going to lose a lot of people because a lot of these towns don't have major league teams close to them. I mean, not necessarily me, because I mean Dodger Stadium is just an hour and a half away from me, but like a lot of these rural towns, it's like, why are they going to get into the baseball then?
Yeah.
If they can't go see top prospects and they can't at least go there. And the elderly community too. Like there's a huge elderly following that go to every single Jethawks game.
Yeah.
That's all going to be gone.
Yeah. And the other thing too is it's really going to stiffen the competition in the minor league system. Because thinking about it, you're getting 40 rosters full of people that aren't going to be in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
So, I mean, think of someone who...
There's no more long shots.
Yeah. I mean, think of someone who they're going to lose that opportunity where if they would have had it, maybe they become a Hall of Famer. Who knows? Yeah. But now, I mean, that's...
Tyler Rogers might not be up. He was in the minor leagues for 7 years.
Yeah.
They might be... 2 years ago, they might have been like, you're too weird. Let's cut you. And now he's probably the best bullpen arm the Giants have right now.
Yeah.
Because Moranta's out for pretty much the year. So, like, I get the argument of, we'll be able to pay the minor league players better. But fucking suck it up, dude. Like, take that dive and freaking pay them.
Yeah. I mean,
they spend a bunch of dumb money on other shit anyways.
Well, think about, like, the Yankees that are valued around $4 billion, right? You can't tell me they can't double the salary of every minor league player and not be okay. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, and the first thought is always Tampa Bay and Oakland, but then if they really can't do it, I get it. Then maybe MLB and the commissioner gives them a little bit. I don't know. Just take care of the minor league. Like, I think it's bad for the sport. I think it's just gonna be bad for the sport. There's nothing else really I can say about that. If they take away these teams, I feel like there's almost no positive besides saving money. You know what I mean? Like, I get the whole idea too of they have like guys that are like filler guys who aren't making who are career minor leaguers who still maybe believe that they can make it, and they're prolonging the inevitable, but that's their decision. They're not forcing people to do it. If people want to give it a shot, then I don't know.
And have they said if they're going to be, is it just going to be single A and double A and like rookie ball, or are we talking triple A teams?
I think here's the thing. For minor leagues, they always like change affiliates. Right. Not always, but a lot. They change affiliates. So what I would imagine is if they took away the Jethawks, another team, like let's say they eliminate low A, right? The teams that they were going to keep that are still in low A, they're probably just going to integrate for the teams, they lost for advanced, double A, something like that.
Right, because I was going to say you can't remove an A team, a double A team, a triple A team, because you're going to have to take it from some team, and then a team's going to be left without it. So
because
I'm assuming it's going to be
like
rookie ball.
Yeah, it's not like all. Well, rookie ball I think is important just because how young they are. I think that the fluff, from what I understand, is low A, because low A is like players that are, I don't know, on their way to high advance or filler guys.
Yeah,
that's been my understanding.
think the Dodgers is the Ogdenville Raptors is their low A. I honestly don't even know.
I check the box score every single day. So, I know them all. So.
Wow, good for you.
I don't mean to be that guy, but I mean they have Augusta Green Jackets.
Yeah, well,
San
for
Jose
everyone
Giants,
that's listening
Richmond Squirrels.
on audio only, I'm rolling my eyes so far in the back of my head with this elitist piece of crap right now.
I know that I have a problem. Okay, I realize it. I've been so close to buying the MLIB like video feed for like it's like $15 a month.
Oh,
I think about it all the time, and I'm like this close to doing it, but then I'm like, dude, it's probably gonna be really shitty camera views, and I'm gonna be like,
yeah, they
mad.
have some 18-year-old high school AV student just like manning the controls. It's gonna look terrible.
That's our way in. So enough of minor league stuff. All right, we're over it. We're gonna get into the main attraction, which is the ultimate playoff roster. You guys have been voting for it all week. We're going to get the outfield together.
Ultimate playoff team.
Hey, what's going on? This is Tyler Beatty with the San Francisco Giants, and you're here listening to Benches Cleared podcast with Jesse Gutierrez and Tyler Coe. Go Giants, beat LA.
Let me just go over the rules real quick. So making the ultimate playoff team for both the Giants and Dodgers, it has to be in the California era. We're going to vote on every single position. We're going to talk about the ones we disagree with. Few guidelines. Longevity is not in the question. You do have to play on the team for at least a year, but only has to be a year. Okay, and you can pick any year to justify your statements. You can use any player that's played on the team. You just can't use any years that they weren't on the team. For example, if that sounded confusing, because I probably did that really shitty. Giants, we can technically use Randy Johnson, but we can't use any of his Arizona years to justify why we're picking him. Just the year he spent with the Giants. And we're going to start it up with left field.
So for the Dodgers poll, we asked who would be your ultimate team left fielder, and it was between Gary Sheffield, Manny Ramirez, Wally Moon, and Dusty Baker. Gary Sheffield took about 50% of the votes. Manny Ramirez came in at around 37%, Wally Moon at 7%, and Dusty Baker at 6%. I'm going to have to agree with the poll here. I would take Gary Sheffield out of this poll. Out of these four players, if I was going to start a team, I would be taking Gary Sheffield at left field. Manny Ramirez, I mean, you want to because the offense kind of speaks for itself, but I think there's such a drop-off from his offense to his defense, where I feel like Gary Sheffield is a much more well-rounded player with all the offensive upside as Manny Ramirez. So for me, this one's an easy one. I'm taking Gary Sheffield.
When we were talking about this and I heard Dusty Baker, I didn't realize how good he was.
He was very good. Yeah.
He was very good for the Dodgers.
Right.
And I even looked, I was like, oh, I'm going to put him on the Giants one too. Might as well. Because left field, we know who's going to win the Giants side, but right. I just thought I'd maybe throw it out there, but he wasn't very good for the one season he played with us.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, going back to kind of researching all these players that I didn't watch because they're before my time. I was just as surprised as you are seeing a lot of these guys, all their stats. I mean, it was pretty crazy. Dusty Baker is definitely one of those ones where I didn't expect him to have such great stats, but he did. But either way, I'm going Gary Sheffield. Final answer.
That's pretty safe. And now we switch over to the better left fielders. We asked you guys so many bombs. Ultimate playoff team. Who is in left field for the Giants? We got Barry Bonds, who overwhelmingly won by 90%. Oh, hold on. Did you say cheater to Barry Bonds right now?
Mm-hmm.
You said cheater.
Sure did.
You said the word cheater.
Sure did.
After just saying
that
you picked Gary Sheffield for yours.
Hey,
between Gary Sheffield and Manny
PEDs.
Ramirez.
Neither of them took PEDs, bro. Where's the proof?
Oh.
Show me the proof.
There's no proof for Bonds either. I mean, you can see by his head he took steroids, but come on.
His 7.5 hat turned into a 9.
Real.
Yeah.
I'm not blind. I know he took steroids.
Hey,
but dude was hitting knocks. Dude was hitting knocks. Oh,
you think you can do this when you do steroids?
That's what Bonds did too.
Yeah, but he did it in like a slower way.
He did it like
Gary
a guy who had an earring, a cross earring
was
hanging
way
from the butt.
chiller, but keep going. I want to interrupt.
Anyways, and the only guy who could really mess with that, can really hang with them, was Kevin Mitchell. Kevin Mitchell is the shit. I'm same thing like you were saying, like when you recheck some of these numbers of guys that you didn't see play, I didn't realize how good Kevin Mitchell was. You know, the things that I know about, I knew he was good, and you know, obviously the bare hand catch. But you look at some of the numbers and was like, oh, dude, this guy should get a little bit more love than he gets. And also, it was nice to revisit players too, because when you're thinking off the top of your head and you're on the spot, you know, you don't really remember everyone. If I didn't do a little bit of research, I would forgot about Jeffrey Leonard. Like, I wouldn't even thought about him. He didn't get any votes, which I get it. I mean, neither did Kevin Mitchell. And
I was going to say, no one really should have gotten votes.
No one should have gotten votes, except someone else did get votes. I also put in Dave Roberts. He got 10% of the votes. I have a feeling. I mean, I'm not a scientist, so let's keep that in mind that I'm not a scientist. But I believe that it was more of a Dodger fan vote that might have voted some Dave Roberts. But
I mean, it's the only votes he's going to get, because as a postseason manager, he's not going to get any of those votes. So we got to give him some love. Just saying.
Right. That's true.
All right, so then we're going to transition over to center field. This was kind of a tough one because, you know, you have people like Cody Bellinger. And it's like, do you put him in right field? Do you put him in center? Do you put him at first base? Do you put him at all three? So just so you know, Cody Bellinger is in this as a center fielder, and I chose to not put him at any other position just because I thought that would be kind of weird if we had Cody Bellinger in center, right, and first base. Can't do that. So I chose him as a center fielder. So for center fielder, ultimate playoff team, the poll, we had Willie Davis at 11%, Cody Bellinger at 37%, Matt Kemp at 37%, and Brett Butler at 15%. I'm taking Cody Bellinger all day. I mean, there's no question.
Yeah, or Matt Kemp, yeah. And that's the thing we were talking about too. Like, this is probably one of the right now is probably one of the best Dodger teams ever. So you're probably going to have some newer guys, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, for me, the offense, you know, Matt Kemp and his good, you know, he had the MVP year that was stolen from him by Ryan Braun. Yeah. You know, that was a great year, but Cody Bellinger's put up 2 years kind of like that, and he's 24 years old. Plus the defense for Cody Bellinger, it's just there's way more upside defensively than Matt Kemp.
I think Matt Kemp hit a little better as far as like average, but as far as power, I mean, I think Cody is in like the 40s, 50s all the time, where Kemp was having 20s and 30s, if I'm not mistaken.
I think
there's just a lot for that time.
The year that he was stolen the MVP, I remember distinctively. He had 40 home runs.
Oh shit!
He had 39 stolen bases because he was one away from 40-40.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I do remember that now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot that.
So, but for me, the big thing is the defensive upside with Bellinger is way higher than Matt Kemp. So I'm going to Cody Bellinger all day. So that's who we're sticking with.
Yeah, I would concur with that too. Going over to, again, I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick, but a way better center fielder. We're going. This is definitely a waste of time for this vote. We're going to go from the bottom up. Okay. We did Felipe Alou, who got 3%. You got Bobby Bonds, who got 4%. Chili Davis, who got 3%, and overwhelmingly Willie Mays at 90%. One of the best baseball players of all time. I mean, it sucks because Felipe Alou had a lot better numbers than I thought he did. You know, and Chili Davis is kind of like a fan favorite. I mean, there's people on here, you know, saying, "Oh, it was a waste of time," you know. But anytime I can click, you know, Willie Mays, I'm gonna do it. This guy's name is hilarious too. Buck for it in place. Buck for it. I don't know. Maybe I read it really fast and didn't. Why I said.
How is that name funny if you can't?
I thought it said butt. I thought it said butt lick because I just looked at it quick. So it's actually not that funny. But thank you for listening. But for it. But you know, there's people, you know, who have Chili Davis as their favorite player. so they voted for him. It's like, yeah, Willie Mays is gonna win. So, but I get it. Was it Tansy McBride? I get what you're saying. Because sometimes you have a player that just tugs on your heart, and they're not gonna, it's not gonna upset Willie Mays.
Yeah, you
come
go.
in.
Yeah, I got one of those picks coming up for the Dodger infield.
Yeah.
So I hear you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like, Willie Mays is not staying up at night because, you voted for Chili Davis. So who knows? It might break his heart and he might be really upset at you. So We'll see.
So then transitioning over to right field, I think this was the most interesting one from the Dodger perspective.
You got some hate on this one too.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. You know what? I'm gonna have to look through those. So so for right field we had Raul Mondesi, Yasiel Puig, Andre Ethier, and Sean Green. And when I gave up these 4 players, I knew this was going to be the closest one, because I knew a lot of these guys would get a lot of different votes.
There's no real huge standout.
Right, exactly.
They're all really good players.
Raul Mondesi got 21%, Yasiel Puig got 36%, Andre Ethier got 24%, and Sean Green got 19%. And to be perfectly honest, I agree with how everyone voted. If we were going to rank them on who I would want to start the team, that's exactly how I would do it. I'm taking Puig. I'd be starting with Puig. I have no qualms about that whatsoever. And then next would be Ethier for sure. And Raul Mondesi following him. And then Sean Green last for sure, because I was never a big fan of Sean Green. I don't know what it was about him, but I was just never...
I don't like that guy.
Well, there's a thing too, like Puig, the defense is there, the offenses can be there, and I love his personality. I just love him as a ball player, where as someone like Sean Green, he's just boring. He's a great fundamental baseball player, but he's just not fun to watch. And then, you have someone like Andre Ethier, who is super consistent, and he is a great baseball player as well. But
he was a clutch guy for a minute.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Mr. Walk-Off.
Yeah.
Or Mr. Clutch, whatever it was.
Yeah, they call him Captain Clutch. I know, because my wife was fucking obsessed with him. Fucking loves Andre Ethier.
So I'm gonna go ahead and read one of the comments we got here, because I'm gonna discredit this right from the get-go. So, quote, this is from Christopher Arazia. Anywho,
and pronounce Mexican last names. You hate me too? Fuck you, dude.
He said, "Are you serious right now? Andrew Ethier." I don't know who the fuck Andrew Ethier is, but I'm assuming
it's probably a
Andre.
typo. Okay.
Well,
it's probably autocorrect. Okay.
The rule is, if you're gonna talk shit, you better spell everything right. So Andrew Ethier is a terrible right fielder, the worst. And I ain't even telling you how I really feel about it. Dude could not hold runners honest. Hitters and base runner always taking extra bags on him. This is a two-way race between Mondesi and Puig. I disagree. I mean, Mondesi had a much better arm, but we're not just looking at you playing the outfield position. We're taking into consideration you hitting.
Yeah, and offense is huge. It goes into effect more than.
Yeah, and if you're looking at this, I think in terms of consistency, Andre Ethier is the best hitter out of all four of them. Mm-hmm. Then Mondesi.
Consistently, average hitting.
Yeah. So I don't agree with this nerd at all. So.
Thank you very much, Chris, for listening. Though.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Fuck this guy, Tyler. Okay.
If you're gonna spew stupid shit like that, I'm gonna call you a nerd.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is right here.
We're just gonna have to have him come on and talk shit to you, and then fight you through the camera. That'd be fine.
Fine by me. But anyway, Yasiel Puig, final answer. That's it.
Yeah, that's. I don't think that's. I know, like, a lot of people are like, and one guy on here was saying that you should put in Reggie Smith. I don't know what the fuck that is. But I mean, I know it's a new thing, and you're supposed to the cool thing is to be like, well, just do older players so you don't look like a noob. But like, dude, this is one of the better Dodger teams of all time. Like, come on, like, I don't know.
Yeah, and
I was always scared when Puig was up. Yeah, I didn't like his bat flips, and I'm not a fan of Yasiel Puig, but you don't dislike the shitty players. There's a reason I didn't like him, because
Yeah.
you know he was good, but he was also had a lot of extra shit. You know, so I don't know. I get what you're saying. I think I don't know. He's good. I get where you're coming from. It makes sense. But we're gonna switch over to the Giants side
to
and
the
right.
better right fielder.
Actually, I'm not trying to be a jerk at all. I'm really not. But I
Okay.
would pick. I would every single. I mean, honestly, Cody Bellinger. Oh, well, not over Bonds. I'd pick Cody Bellinger over who's going to be in right field. But I mean, just the Giants have had three really good outfielders, period. Plus Felipe Alou, you know. So they're all-time greats. Okay, whatever. Anyways, Ultimate Playoff Team continues with a couple of second. I put a couple of second chances because these guys play center and right, and Giants didn't have really a lot of great outfielders to choose from. So I'm gonna reuse my guy Felipe Alou, who got 25%. Got to mention for Jack Clark. Jack Clark was the shit, dude. He only got 3%. That kind of breaks my heart a little bit. We go to a little bit of a tiff that I have with this poll. In second place was Hunter Pence with 34%. Speaking from a guy who fucking loves Hunter Pence. Okay, he was my favorite player that wasn't a Giant. They got traded to the Giants. Huge part of two of the World Series. Fucking would give this guy my left lung. Okay, I love this guy, but no way is he a better player if you look at the numbers for sure than Jack Clark and Felipe Alou. Like, it doesn't make sense unless you're going straight off the speech. That's the only way that you're that. And by the way, I have nothing, like I said, nothing but good things to say about Hunter Pence. Like, nicest dude, right? I went to spring training and like, you know, last year when he was with the Rangers, I went to a Giants Rangers game, and I was waiting to get some signatures, and Hunter Pence went to the other side, and my wife was like, "Oh, give me one of your hats. I'll go over there." And I said, "He's been signing for a minute, okay? Like, he's gonna walk away right as you soon go over there. Don't even waste your time, honey. Don't even worry about it." Dude was over there for like 2 hours, dude, just signing autographs because there were so many Giant fans trying to get his autograph. So I love the dude. So no way is it like that. But Bobby Bonds, the guy who won should have won. Bobby Bonds is the shit, and he should be there. Bobby Bonds at 38%, which is really cool. The whole outfield of Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonds, and then Willie Mays. Barry Bonds' godfather. That's
keeping it all in the family.
That's like, dude, one of the best all-time outfields of any team. I'd put that outfield up against with any team.
No.
Fuck with me. Who? You can get the Yankees. You can get the Red Sox. Fuck them all, baby. Barry Bonds, bitch. Willie Mays, bitch. I don't know. That's just me.
I hear ya. We are going to be posting the infield portion of the Ultimate Team. So we're doing first, second, short, third, and catcher. So make sure you guys vote on those polls. You know, we're going to be wrapping up the Ultimate Team. So make sure you get those votes in.
Yeah, make sure to follow us on Twitter to participate in the polls. Benches Cleared P. Also, while you're at it, while you're in the following mood, why don't you go over to Instagram, follow us on Benches Cleared Podcast, look us up on YouTube, subscribe.
Yeah, and if you guys didn't see last week, we uploaded the first episode to YouTube. So now we are officially on that platform as well. So head on over to YouTube, like and subscribe, smash that like button, you know, all those YouTubers say, do all that stuff. And
hit the notifications. What?
So you can see every time we upload a video or whatever.
That'd be great.
I don't know.
Make sure to submit us your trash talk to be featured. Maybe we'll even on the Skype thing, we'll do like a little 3-way call for some people too.
Yeah, if any of you nerds want to, say some dumb shit.
Christopher's gonna come on here and beat the shit out of you. I guess your ear.
I ain't afraid of nothing, dog.
That's a lie. This episode has been brought to you by Renovation Candle Company. You're stuck at your house all day. Make sure it smells nice. Buy a couple candles, one for each room. You ain't got nothing better to do. So
final spring drop happening 4/24. Be on the lookout for that, and we'll see you next time.